Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another brand new video. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Here we are in Toronto, Canada, recording a live stream once again. Every day we go live, and hopefully, we do live streams every single day. Uh, so that is our plan, that is our intention. Let me know how everything is going with you. Hope things are going well. And as always, we start with some news. The news is that the relationship with myself and Dr. Rob is looking like it's coming to a close. It's not looking too good for the live streams. Probably we won't continue doing the live streams since it is just not the right thing to do anymore. So everything happens for a reason and everything happens for a season. So the parasocial dynamic between myself and Dr. Rob looks like has concluded. There is just no energy, no real purpose or no drive, no desire between both of us to continue live streaming together since there's nothing to gain anymore. Not materially, not financially, I don't mean like that, but nothing to gain personally or energetically. The first few months we were live streaming every single day, and it was very, very useful. It was great for both of us. But now it is a lot harder. Uh, it's almost like the passion is gone, the juice is gone, the spark is non-existent. So so am I done? Yeah, it seems like we're not going to live stream anymore together. It seems like that part is done. And so that's just how it's going to go. We're going to be live streaming on our own from now on and just talking about our spiritual insights, going live daily. And what spiritual insights do I have to share? Well, the first ones are about these beads. Look at how fantastic these spiritual beads are. You should get them. Available on shivakailash.com. Something else I wish to talk about is my age. I am 30 years of age, and I'm growing older in age, and soon I'll be 33 in 3 years. That will be the completion of my adulthood. I will finally be an adult. 33 is kind of complete in that way. So these are 80, I'm sorry, these are 108 beats. So I'm getting older, I'm getting riper in age. As I get older, I become wiser. And I'm excited to get older, at least a little bit older. I'm excited to reach my full potential as a human being. And not necessarily because of the fact that I will learn more and have more experiences, but when you cross certain thresholds in age, you cross many boundaries, many cycles of time pass, and you unlock things inside of your body. So that is coming up for me at 33 years of age. That's going to be very, very exciting. I'm very curious to see how my life is going to turn out in 2 or 3 years. It'll be 2.5 years since 33. And I want to be rich. I want to be financially successful. It's been 1 decade since my spiritual awakening when I was 19, realizing that I need to meditate and study and follow the Dharma. But being wealthy and being rich is something so important in today's day and age, and has always been important, and it's very important for me. I just don't see an avenue to do that yet, but it will come. I hope it will come. If it doesn't come, I'll be very sad. But I know and I see that having acquiring resources, having massive amounts of money, it really makes your life better in so many ways. You have access to new opportunities. You don't have to be afraid of losing things anymore. And you can delve into life's challenges head on, face first, knowing that you can put out any fire with the money that you have. If you don't have any money, then likely you are suffering and struggling. So, when I mean rich, I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank or every year. You want to have massive wealth. That is my goal. That is my intention. Hello, Born Bad Brains. Good to see you here. Welcome. I've never heard a seeker of God also seeking wealth. That's because most people are retarded. And the spiritual path is filled with confusion and illusions and ignorance. So, let me just make sure that the audio is coming across well. Let me know if it is. So, yeah, I want wealth. I want financial abundance. I want, uh, I want all the good things in life, and I will get them. There's nothing wrong with seeking wealth. Nothing wrong with wanting to be financially successful and abundant. I want to do that. The best chance of me doing that is to find some kind of product that people can use all across the world and selling it and scaling that business. That is how people get rich. Let's say selling a phone case, even a simple phone case, can do it, can get you massive amounts of money. But the Buddha says that a man that grows old in age, neither having gone forth from home into homeless life, being becoming a monk and achieving a spiritual success, or a man that doesn't acquire wealth in his earlier years, both of these men feel guilty and ashamed as their life kind of progresses. So either you go into the spiritual path and you fulfill spiritual truths, or you become wealthy. If you don't do both, that's very bad. If you do one, that's great. But if you can do both, that's even better. So my spiritual work has paid off, thankfully. I have achieved massive benefits in terms of my own mind. I'm meditating more daily now and continuously. But now I want to go into the financial side and acquire wealth and resources. So people that earn a lot of money are people that provide value, provide massive value to others. If I provide value to you or to millions of people, no doubt I will gain the benefits. I will become wealthy. The more value you provide, the more wealthy you will become, generally speaking. Sometimes you can make some mistakes. Are you Muslim? Do not insult me like that. So, yes, value and wealth. Well, we got to struggle, we got to strive, we got to do what we can, and we have to look forward. So, I want to learn the science of life and manifestation to get what I desire, and I will. Solomon, if you want to see me eat a spicy chip, then donate. Send me, at least send me money to buy it. Have you ever heard of the person on our dreams? No. It is sensible to eat with your hands if you're a person, if you're a human being. If you eat with your hands, you are much more likely to be fulfilled and satisfied with the food that you eat. Eating without your hands or eating with a utensil is kind of crazy. If you eat with a spoon, you are isolating yourself from the food that you're eating, and you don't get enough taste. You don't get as much taste. If you actually touch your food, you pick it up with your hand, you put it in your mouth, you get to taste the food much better. There's other benefits to eating with your hands, but that's the biggest one. Also, I want you to pay attention in your life. Just think about the best foods you've ever eaten. Pizza is a great food, you eat it with your hands. Burgers, you eat it with your hands. French fries, you eat it with your hands. Some of the best food that you can name, you eat with your hands. Maybe there's a coincidence, maybe there's a correlation. So start eating food with your hands, and you'll notice there's a big difference. Instead of isolating yourself or insulating yourself from the food that you're eating. Hello, hello. I have dreams about Aiden Ross and having Aiden Ross paint me a picture because I met him and he's famous. I want to be like Aiden Ross. I will become like Aiden Ross. I want to communicate and over communicate everyone in this field. I want to express myself so much that nobody can ignore me. At least that's what I think I want, because as I've grown older and as I understand myself, I don't really know what I want. There's so many deeply ingrained social conditioning things inside of me that I think that I want something, but it's actually the society's influences of I think that that's going to make me happy, or that's where my energy is drawing because I have some image, some fancy image in my mind. So I'm just saying these things very loosely. Tomorrow I can change my mind and close my YouTube channel down, and that'll be the end of it because I don't know what is truly inside of this. But I've been on YouTube for 3.5 years now, 3 or more years. Things are going strong. I'm going to continue on, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. I will continue going. So I want to be very famous. I want to be popular. I want to be wise, successful, happy, healthy, and that's what I will become. So help me God. And Aiden Ross, I have dreams of Aiden Ross. I have dreams of Brad Pitt. I had a dream of Brad Pitt today. Those are the people that I want to be like. Why? Because I'm seeking survival and I'm seeking safety. I see that being famous is extremely safe. One of the safest things you can become is successful in terms of fame. If you are living in a tribe of 150 people and every single person knows you and loves you and adores you, that is basically like fame. That's immense success value or survival value. But if you're living in the same tribe and nobody really knows you, you're just some guy that cleans the floors once in a while, then that's not such a great survival chances. You can get injured and you can die, and nobody will really care too much. But if a celebrity dies or is dying or needs help, everybody's going to rush to help. So that is what I seek. That is what I desire. Fame, success, status. And I'm wondering what is the quickest way to achieving that, because I don't want to get famous for the wrong reasons or being, stupid or a goofball. That's not really sensible to me. But I know that the way to do that is to build relationships, parasocial relationships, meaning that you're watching me, you think that you know me, you think that you're my friend. Well, I want to accomplish that, by the way. I want you to feel like you're my friend. And you think that you are somehow close to me, even though I don't know who you are. But this is a one-way relationship. And that's how all fame is, to some extent. So I subscribe to people on YouTube and I like watching people on YouTube that I like. I like their personality and I feel like I'm their friend, or I would be friends with them if we were just out and about, out in public. Sometimes I subscribe to people, like I subscribe to Hasanabi, this guy that Dr. Rob likes. And after a while, I realized this guy's just not a good guy, just a very negative guy and a very hateful and vengeful guy. So I unsubscribed because I realized that I wouldn't be friends with him in real life. This is how I like to do things. Subscribe to somebody. If I would be friends with them in real life, then I stay subscribed. And for me to also get famous, I need to talk a lot. I need to share myself. I need to share my value. And I need to do stuff. I need to engage with life. engage with life, meaning doing live streams from all across the world and all across different places, except, in my house, in my beautiful studio here. So, talking a lot and consistency and doing live streams every single day and having people see me from all kinds of angles. That's how I'm going to be successful. That's how I'm going to be famous. The more communication is done, the easier it is for me to cut through the noise. Because right now I'm just in a small corner of the YouTube community with 13,000 subscribers, talking to 57 people that are here. I'm in a small niche of people here. But the more that I talk, the more live streams I do. And every single day I do a live stream. I've been doing a live stream every single day. And for more hours that I live stream, and for more angles that I record myself in, from a peaceful angle, from an angry angle, from a depressed angle, or a sad angle, or ecstatic angle, or happy angle, whatever, the better. And the more viral things that I do, I the more you get to experience me in different situations, the more a likelihood that you will understand who this personality is. And then we can build a long-term relationship. So that is what I'm seeking. That is what I'm wanting. So I'm live streaming 3 hours a day. That's not enough. I want to do live streams for basically the entire day. I want to record my entire day, which that is coming up. Maybe this will be the 12-hour live stream that I'm going to do. It is 3 o'clock. We need to do a 12-hour live stream that is still in the works. And you need to see me from all kinds of angles. So I will link with top streamers. I want to come in contact with more YouTube content creators because seeing that what me doing live streams with Dr. Rob did, how that was, how much that fed me, how much that fueled me, how much money I've gained, I see that that is the way to success. So me simply talking to a camera is not good enough. I need to talk to people. People can get behind conversations and arguments or dialogues. Not necessarily dialogues, but arguments. People love to see arguments. People love to see clash. Clash is a great release of energy. And Dr. Rob and I argued a lot. That's why people wanted to see that so much. Mm. Yeah, I show speed is doing great things now, and that's what I have to look forward to in the future as well. I want to emulate myself, like with these big stringers. So money, my friends, money, 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 money. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. At least right now, at least in terms of the physical reality. Money is useful, money is important, but if you don't have health, then you don't care about money. You can sacrifice all the money in the world just in exchange for health. So, health is the primary aspect of life. Without health, it doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have, everything else is irrelevant. Health, it becomes the utmost priority. I have health. I'm thankful to say that I have not been sick seriously ever. Never had to go to the hospital for any serious or major things. Something happened to me when I was a child. I passed out from not enough, standing up too fast. People thought that something was wrong with me, but I was perfectly fine. Never had any major challenges to my health. I've always kind of been very peaceful inside, always taking care of my body, taking care of my health. And now I'm 100% vegan, which means that my body is becoming even healthier. So that is taken care of. Outside of that, I live in a safe environment. I live in Canada. Things are safe. I have a good family. And now I want to acquire wealth. I want to acquire value. Why do I want to acquire value? Because it's such power, it's such control over the physical environment. I can wake up, and if tomorrow the desire is for me to go X, I will go X. Or if the desire is for Y, I will do Y. And if I just want to do Z, then I'll do Z. And I guess there's a kind of slow building your character to acquire wealth. I'm not sure how good it would be for me to just suddenly get $1 billion or even $1 million be sent into my bank account and how I would spend that, how I would deal with that. Maybe I would just start going manic and crazy and going out and buying cars and saying F you to people and buying irresponsible things. If you think that's not likely or practical or reasonable, then you haven't seen lottery winners. Lottery winners win the lottery and then they buy the world's craziest things and then they lose their money within a year or two. So I understand it seems like this is how it's going to go for me, that things have to go slowly, things have to go step by step. I have to build my life one pillar at a time. I certainly will not try to do what Dr. Rob did. No, that's not my style or personality. I, again, I'm coming to this conclusion right here, right now in this live stream. Things need to be taken step by step, one step at a time. Even though I am impatient to some extent because time is running out. Every day, time is running out. Today is a moment gone, or the 20 minutes I've already been live streaming, and that time is gone. So I'm getting older, I'm getting closer to my death, and I want to experience life. I want to live intensely. And I think that I need money for that, to go skydiving, to go scuba diving, to go this, that, any other thing. I need money to do that, I think, at least. Or I see that people that have money, they get to do all these things. They get to live intensely. They get to experience life in big, powerful, wonderful ways. So I'm looking towards money as well. But maybe it's not about money. Maybe it's just about having a powerful experience, inner experience. Maybe it's about just living intensely, living life powerfully. And the money will come. Why is money such an important thing? Why is paper rectangle so valuable? It gives you more access. It gives you more access. So the sensible and reasonable thing for me to do is to continue to build my character and to continue to expand my YouTube empire, to grow spiritually, to make these videos, to go collaborate with other individuals, to make live streams, and to progress slowly over time. You do know Sadhguru, he's exclusive meetings with people like platform. I think it'd be helpful if you attend those. Yeah, possible. Do you know how to whistle? If you do, what is the song that comes to your mind? If you could think of a song. So I'll be happy to answer any of your questions for a super chat. Otherwise, if you have a question, I'll answer for free. If you don't have the means to donate, that's okay. He's 30 years old white man and idolizing I Show Speed. Is that supposed to be a racist comment? Is I Show Speed some bad guy? He's a very entertaining, funny, and filled with life person. So I like I Show Speed. I used to not understand him. He used to kind of bother me when I see clips of his, but now I'm subscribed to his channel because he's an extremely successful YouTuber and live streamer. Yes, create more clips and shorts. That is the way to the future. I also see myself expanding my YouTube platform in terms of getting other platforms and recording videos on those platforms. So YouTube can't be the only place that I devote my resources. I think the next one is Instagram. That seems like where the most freedom to speak is. Drewski? Drewski. Yeah. So, hmm, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Having lots of thoughts that come into my mind. When I was doing videos and live streams with Dr. Rob, that was so engaging and fun for my soul. It was just so rewarding mentally, emotionally, energetically, most of all. It was really, really great. Now, doing live streams on my own by myself is not so engaging. It's not so fun. It requires my energy to do this. It requires I'm thinking, why am I doing this? The results aren't there. Not as many people watch this. We would have 100 people watching us talk. Now it's 35. People will donate constantly. So the live streams are not the same. It's different. So I need to find ways that will make me excited to do these live streams. but I know this is right now the best thing that I can do. I actually enjoy these ways more. Hmm, interesting. So yeah, why don't you go into the discourse and do a live discourse segment? But yeah, that's not going to be good because most people don't know how to speak or communicate or be engaging or are just in their own world when they talk. They don't communicate. They just speak like they do in the into the mirror. And that's not what I'm interested in. I want to create content. I want to create educational, informative, and entertaining videos and live streams. Me talking to people and sharing some ideas, that's not going to go well. You are far from unique. Possibly, maybe, maybe. So, this understanding that Dr. Rob and I will no longer do live streams really set me back in terms of my desire and motivation even to do solo live streams because somehow in the back of my mind I was always looking forward to doing that once again. And that kind of energy, creating that kind of energy, that was just sublime, that was supreme. And me talking to the camera by myself to you or at you is um not the best, let's just say not the best. So either I create that on my own, I don't know how I'm going to create that, or I do some sort of crazy stunts, or I really take charge of my own personal experience. Otherwise, it's not going to go so well for me. I will really have a hard time doing this. So I have to I have to figure out what to do. This time I'm going to start banning people that are disrespecting me and leaving negative comments designed to just throw rocks, metaphorical rocks. There should be some punishment, some consequence for inappropriate behavior here on this live stream. So you're getting timed out for 5 minutes, and you should see that there's consequences to the way you speak, at least on this live stream. So I want to create this of my own. I want to create this kind of energy by myself. How about consequences to accepting donations without doing what you said you do with them? Like what? Give me an example. Do this for X amount of time so you learn to get a trade is actually a spiritual route to go. I don't know what that means. Maybe you should get a job to make money. YouTube is my job. Monetize, I earn ad revenue. I am able to receive donations. By the way, shout out to all the people that have donated ever. And this is a job to me. So I want to expand this, even though, and I make a full time income from doing YouTube, by the way. For those who don't know, or shout out to people that don't understand. Um, yes, I have a brand new phone, Quantum Chance. I don't know if you saw the previous videos, but this is my new phone. I'm recording on a brand new phone. The black hat is sucking energy out of your brain. Actually, no, it's pulling energy into my brain. So even that you can't understand. I don't pay rent or bills. I actually do pay rent and bills. Did you receive my order? Key and more? What do you mean? So I am living in a kind of paradise because I don't have to work hard or strive or go get any kind of random regular job like some people here. Some people here own businesses and are in charge of their lives and do jobs that they like. Other people have to work at McDonald's because they can't do anything else. And then they scream at me because I'm fortunate. I'm not fortunate by accident, my friends. I'm fortunate by design. So please respect that and respect yourself enough to learn how to design your life in a way that is, um, yeah, I ordered on your website Mercury necklace and hanging bead. Let's see. The worst people. Yes, I see it. Okay, my friend. So that is going to be shipped out very, very soon. Today, probably. Where do you live? I mean, I'm sorry. Do you live in the United States or Europe, or do you live in North America or Europe or Africa, or which continent do you live? I will check that after, but I just want to know. So somebody here bought 2 items from my website. This is how I make an income, by the way, as well. So I just made money without using my hands, without doing anything. Basically, passive income. California, excellent. So I will ship it out today, latest tomorrow, and you'll get it very soon. And that's what it's supposed to be about. I mean, why should we value working hard? We should work earnestly, we should work diligently, but working hard in a way that's making you suffer, or in a way that's suffering, like suffering for your work, that's not good. That's not good at all. And yeah, thank you, Kian. You're welcome. More than welcome, and I hope you enjoy. I'll be curious to see your reactions and hear your reactions. You will we will see it here. You got to grind, man, no matter what your grind is. Certainly, certainly. But this word also grind, I don't appreciate. I've been in a trade where you actually use a grinder to polish stones. You polish, let's say, for example, marble. You want to polish marble. If you have a countertop that is very dirty and very has lots of stains, you can't just wash it off with a brush or some soap. No, you need special chemicals to apply on the marble, and you need a grinder, and it grinds, and it polishes the surface. So grinding, what are you grinding? Are you grinding your mind against the work that you're doing? I would prefer flying. I would prefer gently rolling down uh, a peaceful hill, or I prefer just sitting in a lake and letting the lake do the work for me. And I've made that happen. You see, the circumstances presented themselves that a fan of mine wanted to do something for me. He made my website basically for free. My website is a top tier website. Uh, just fantastic. It's not some $20, $20 a month, whatever those little website pay to have a website. That's not that. It's a professionally done website. I sell products there. I sell services there. I sell courses there. So it's about being lubricated in your mind and your body in a way that life is very. At Born Bad Brains donated $5 through Super Chat. Most people aren't inherently negative, they often just react to stress, exhaustion, or personal struggles in ways that affect those around them. Thank you for your donation, Born Bad Brains, by the way. And let's read your comment and let's analyze it. That is so true. That is so true. And you have to have patience to see that, to see through that. Like, for example, mind, sound. My friends, if you're here, this person, sound, he's my number one hater right now on this YouTube channel. This is a pattern I've noticed, and people come and they have such strong emotional investment in me. They come every single day and they continuously repeat comments like this person. So these people are struggling in their lives. These people see something in me that really bothers them, it really triggers them, and they're trying to destroy that. But they're trying to destroy that inside of themselves. So I let the slide. So no, sorry, 66. You please don't spam, otherwise you're gonna get timed out. So yeah, it's about being lubricated. It's about easily flowing through life. It's about living in harmony with life and the universe and allowing God to do the work for you because you're God's creation. You're God's child. All right, sorry about that. We got disconnected. I forgot to change the Wi-Fi. If somebody tomorrow, if somebody can remind me of that, I will definitely make sure to that never happens again. So sorry, sound. You're going to get timed out for 10 minutes. And that kind of language will not be tolerated here. And lying to people is not wise. So yes, you are your sons. You are God's son, and God will do a lot of things for you. You can just live in harmony, live in peace, live in happiness, and things will happen for you. Things don't need to be hard. I'm against working hard. I've understood this from an early age. In my early 20s, I am against working hard. I don't mean I'm against like physical labor. That's not working hard. If you enjoy physical labor and you're building your own house and you're sweating, that is fantastic work. I kudos. That's good work. If you have a physical labor work or job, good job. That's great. If it pays the bills and you enjoy it, no problem. But I'm against doing menial things that have no relation to you just for money and working hard in general and grinding. You need to put in the work, you need to put in the effort, you need to put one brick at a time. You live in a physical world. But this idea that you need to suffer and you need to struggle has to go today, instantly. Work hard, work smart, not hard. Yes, certainly, certainly. So, born to come back to Born by Brains for his super chat. This is about reducing your stress and making yourself more pure, reducing the challenges in your mind and your life in a way that you can just flow through life easily. If you're really peaceful, there's so many forces in the universe that want you to grow and expand and advance. So many synchronicities will come. They'll make it so easy for you. So we don't have to fight life or the universe or think that we're this mind and we have to handle every challenge and every obstacle. That's not the case at all. You are like a little child, and the God, the creator, is your father. The creator will take care of many obstacles for you, but you have to still get up and walk. You as a child, you're getting up and walking, you're exploring life. It's your father's responsibility to make sure you're not getting hit or injured or providing a safe environment and doing things like that to a certain extent. You know? Personal karma also takes effect. You can't just uh, yeah expect everything to be done. Some people are born in very unfavorable conditions and circumstances. Some people are born in continents where it's difficult to live and difficult to survive. Why is that? I was born in very favorable conditions. I was born in Ukraine, not the best, but I had a fantastic childhood. I am born in a generation where I still had a childhood. Thank God. I still had friends. I still was able to go outside and people not be afraid that there's pedophiles. I went outside, meaning I didn't have some parents that were worried that I'm gonna crack my skull open. I had friends. I didn't have friends online and just constantly being on the computer. So I had an actual, probably the last generation to ever still have a childhood. And then it came to Canada, and things are only working up. Things are only getting better. And why is that? I really paid attention to this because I wanted to know. And the answer became very crystal clear. It's because of my morality and moral conduct and purity of my mind and stillness of my heart. This, of course, wasn't done in this lifetime. This was lifetimes, decades of work and before this guy was even born. And so the next birth, the next life is so easy, it's so effortless, almost effortless. Of course, I have to put on personal effort, but the universe, the creative forces are doing all the effort for me. Things are aligning, things are coming to me. So we have to sacrifice all that is unwanted in our lives, all that is hurting us, slowing us down, and just damaging to our lives. That's not good for you, for me, for anybody. And just take in virtuous things, take in good things, take in positive things, take in things that lead to more life. That is how you grow spiritually. That is how you grow as a human being. That is how you get all the best things in life. So, somebody bought 2 products from my website, I'm very happy and glad. So I'll make sure to send you a gift as well. I'll have to repackage the items, put it in one package, and I'll ship it out to you very soon. I'll put in a little gift, and it'll be good. It'll be good, bro. Listen, okay. So if anybody has any questions, please write them out. I'll be happy to read them. If you have a super chat or if you have the means to donate, I'm supported by your donations. That's why I'm doing this live stream. Um, Send them over. Why did I adopt Hinduism and left my old religion? Because it didn't work. Hinduism works much better. Hinduism is much better. The problem is, and the danger arises when you see virtuous things as immoral or bad, and when you see bad and immoral things as good. What is an example? Well, beer is an example. Alcohol. Alcohol, you can hardly go anywhere without seeing an alcoholic ad, but that's not virtuous. That's damaging. That's bad. So you thinking that drinking alcohol is good because the society influencing you to do that, that is leading to your detriment and downfall. So we have to sacrifice the non-virtuous things. Your opinion for the oppression of women should be changed only if you ever want to find a girl. Not gonna lie. I don't feel or believe that women should be oppressed. I'm against women's oppression. That's why I'm very critical of Islam, the religion that heavily oppresses women. And one should educate themselves on Islam and Muslims' beliefs because it is arguably, according to statistics and the way things are going in Islamic countries, one of the most damaging religions in the world. And we can tell by the consequences of people that choose that faith, what they demonstrate. So more education is needed, more awareness is needed because things are really taking a stir in that organization, and we need to be very mindful and aware of what's happening. If you're in the United States, you need to be aware because things are happening in Canada as well, and in Europe. You need to be very aware, and you need to educate yourself. So, what do you think about women in a leadership position? I think that women should generally stay away from leadership positions unless they are extremely competent. But putting women into leadership positions just because we want to balance out the scales, oh, we have too many men here, we should bring out more women, that's completely the wrong way of looking at it. This is being done in police stations. People are hiring women as police officers. That is one of the most dangerous things, in my personal opinion, allegedly, I think that people can do. Um, Women just aren't as physically strong as men in police jobs, and you're putting lives at risk by doing that. But is that to say that no woman should be a police officer? No, if a woman is extremely powerful and competent and has a kind of masculine force about herself, all right, lady, let's go. Protect the men, protect everybody. Before anybody jumps onto any conclusions, I would like to present some evidence to support my claim. May I present some evidence? Of course I may, because it's my channel and my show. So let me present some evidence before anybody starts calling me, oh, I'm aggression and oh, women, what about women? And don't you support women? I support women more than you. Let me show you a video example why women should not be in leadership positions. I'm not saying that they should be oppressed, absolutely not. But at the very least, not in positions of police officers. Here we go. Here's the evidence to my claim. A job where your duty is to protect others is what you just saw. Let me just change my Wi-Fi so that you can see better. We have a little bit of a lag. So again, for people that didn't understand what happened, these are nice, 3 beautiful female police officers, probably hired for the balancing of men and women. And here they are just resting. There's male and female police officers. I guess somebody starts shooting. There's actual danger. And these ladies do, let's say their training didn't take strong into effect. The men, of course, go towards the danger, and the men do what's what you're supposed to do in this profession, and the ladies go somewhere else. So I am advocating for equal opportunities. Everybody should have equal opportunities. Women should have every opportunity that a man has. But let's not idealize situations and think, oh, well, why are there so many men underwater welders? Why can't women do underwater welding? Have you seen the death statistics of underwater welding and how difficult that job is? So we need to use our logical senses and think clearly. So if a woman is extremely competent and wise and intelligent, let her work up the ranks and let her become a CEO of a company. I'm 100% for that, but not for equality's sake. Oh, we need to be equal, therefore we should elect a woman to be our CEO. That is madness. That is insanity. So that was a little rant on my own personal opinions and politics. I'm not here, you know, I'm not saying that's absolutely true or a fact. That's just something that I'm exploring, and I'm very happy to change my mind if more evidence comes to to me. Feminism is more expectation on women performing more than we need to. Men and women have different responsibilities in terms of taking care of a family. There are things that women can do that men can never do. I'm not being a man here. Oh, no, I can do everything a woman can do. No, I can't. So tell me about that video, Kimberly. What do you think about that video? Would you, if you have an emergency situation in your house, somebody is burglarized and your man's not home, and you call the police, and then they say, okay, I have two women officers. They're in their early 20s. They're coming. They're going to help you. Would you be, okay, yeah, I'll put my life in the line. Bunch of women are serving the country while you're on YouTube going live. Serving the country in what way? Like flipping hamburgers or what? Oh, you mean in the military? That too. That too. Why why are the ladies in the military? If she wants to do that, okay, go ahead. But there should be as equal standards for going into the military as men. I think that in the Navy SEALs, the standard to become a Navy SEAL has been significantly reduced for women. Why? Why are you doing that? I thought that being a Navy SEAL needs rigorous strength training and rigorous expertise. No, we're going to lower the bar and make it unsafe for everybody. Hello? My house is on fire. Quick, ladies, put out the fire. Ah, ah. Unless they're extremely competent, no problem. I'm not saying women are not as competent as men, not at all. But I'm saying idealizing, oh, we should have equality. We should put women in charge of this because it needs to be balanced. And that's insanity. That's crazy. So people's competence should be at the forefront, not their gender. Well, Erica, women can be those things. If an extremely powerful, competent, wise, intelligent, strong woman goes into those fields and passes the tests, go ahead. You've earned it. So there should be equal opportunities. Definitely not against barring opportunities for anybody. Anyways, let's move on. Let's continue on talking about whatever you're talking about. If you have questions, please let me know via the bottom. I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine women dying at war as soldiers. We have a Kian says that is good. Sagar, no need to spam. Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Views on anti-nationalism. People have something against me looking up on ChatGPT or using the internet. I don't really know what anti-nationalism is, so I'm sure I can deduce what the words mean, but let me make sure that I know the definition. Anti-nationalism means is the philosophical and ethical position that procreation is wrong because it's subject to new beings to inevitably suffer death and lack consent. Natalism or nationalism? Oh, natalism. Oh, okay. I would not have guessed this, what this is. I am against that. So you need to create the living circumstances in a way that you can take in a new being and you'll be happy and thrive here. Am I in those conditions right now? No, but certainly I'll get there. And once I'm there, then definitely I'll have kids. I want to have kids. But right now, that's not the case. Why did you choose Hinduism? Because it works the best. It kind of chose me. I didn't logically choose. I saw the immense benefits from Sadhguru, and I went towards that direction. So, men and women are different. How are we different? Well, we have different bodies, first and foremost. Men can't give birth, women can give birth. We have different responsibilities, different priorities, and that's not weakness, that's strength. So we need to be understanding what our roles are, not society's roles, nature's roles. And one should dig deep and find what that is. Women are smarter, don't need to fight with muscles. Women are stronger in many ways. Yeah, I think that women have more pain tolerance, and naturally, because they give birth. Shout out to women. We're not against women. Women shouldn't be against men. It's not some competition. Who's better? Oh, women against men. I don't need no man. That's madness. Men should compete with men, but men should never compete with women. What is that? Anyways,
At KKC8 I donated $19.99 through Super Chat. Women operating under masculine energy out of choice is great, but we as women have been put into a situation where we're having to operate more masculine than feminine to keep up with the demand of modern life.
absolutely 100% true. So I'm sad to see women in masculine roles. I'm very happy to see a woman in her feminine energy in a way that she's supported in that. That's beautiful. That's the most superpower thing you can do. But for some reason, whatever the vested interests are, the commercial interests, no, women are just as capable of men. Well, they are, yes, but you should go and you should get a job instead of staying home and taking care of your children. No, I don't think you should do that. At least I wouldn't want my woman to do that. And women that have very powerful masculine energy, that she's just doing that out of compulsion, that's not attractive at all. That's like a man having very feminine energy. That's not attractive either. But some women are just very masculine in nature. I've met women like that. I've had the pleasure of being in high school with a woman like that, and she is now either a correctional officer or in the military, a police officer. She's doing one of these very hard jobs. Congratulations, that's wonderful. Um, but going in the wrong direction in terms of your energy is not wise. This goes the same for men. I've seen a video of a man walking with a woman on the street, and some homeless guy is harassing the woman. And the guy gets scared. He's a bigger guy, he's a taller guy, and he just doesn't do anything. That is not how to be a masculine man. You should protect your woman, you should protect your wife. So it can go both ways. Thank you for your donation, KK. That is a very generous gift. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm also not in favor of dating either. I don't mean that you should get arranged marriages. I think that's also insane. But what are you dating for? In the context of people, how they think dating right now is. Oh, dating is like I meet a woman and we go and have dinner, and then we go to my place and we have sex, and maybe we like each other, we have sex a little bit more, and then we just kind of like maybe break it off and then off to the next one. Whoa, what are you doing? That are you crazy? You must be mentally insane. Or you're just heavily programmed by the society's influences, the forces of society, the forces of commercialism. That's not sane. That's not natural. That's not in any way healthy for you. That's just not good objectively. It's not good. It's not good objectively. So when I mean dating, okay, you meet a woman. All right, let's go to the movie theater. Maybe not the movie theater. Let's go on a hike, or let's go eat some food. Let's talk. Oh, it's been a month. We've been talking. Okay, we really like each other, or we don't have that much interest, and we break it off. But going into the bed just for some pleasure, do you understand what you're doing? You're pretending to make kids. Do you want to pretend to make kids and make a irreversible choice, irreversible action that will solidify our lives for the next 20 years? Yeah, let's do that. That seems like it's a reasonable thing to do. No, very dangerous, very dangerous. So go and meet women, go meet men, whatever you're into, go and find out what you like, but don't just jump into bed with people because you enjoy the pleasure. I get it, the pleasure is there, but the pleasure is there because nature is rewarding you for making a baby. Why am I against natalism? So natalism is you going against making children because you're going to bring children into a painful environment. Natalism should be something that's taught in other countries, some religious countries especially, because people have babies like human beings are going extinct tomorrow. Quick, have a baby today, have more tomorrow. That's not reasonable. So we're not going extinct here. We're peaceful and we're happy. And but what should we do? Just end the human race? Life is beautiful. I'm glad that I'm born. I'm glad that I'm alive. This is a wonderful opportunity and experience. And life isn't suffering, by the way. Your life may be suffering, but you can just live. You can just be ecstatic. You can just be happy. And you don't have to suffer miserably. You can live peacefully. You can live happily. So I definitely want to bring children into this world when my living circumstances and conditions are more appropriate to have a child. It's not right there now. So I'm against young 20-year-old somethings going and screwing their entire lives. Not to say that every child is a screw up, but you're doing something prematurely. Just wait, be patient. Well, my parents didn't do that. And I was born in conditions that were not the best. Let's just say not the best. Definitely a lot of trauma, childhood trauma was bestowed upon me because they couldn't keep it in their pants. They just couldn't keep it in their pants. And they were married, and at least they were married. So I was a child out of marriage, and marriage means something. Marriage means that you're committed. Okay, there's a commitment between a man and a woman. Why? What is a commitment for? To make a child. Hello, marriage is only for children. You're married, now you have a child, now you've both a mother and a father. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's the best. Okay? But now these men are going out and impregnating these women, and then, oh, this is too much responsibility, and they just leave. That is like the most pathetic creature you can be as a man to be that. That you're not even worth a person spitting on your face. It's just, I'd rather keep my spit for digestive purposes than to spit on your face. Bringing up the next generation of human beings is one of the most important responsibilities you have. And you just go and bust nuts because you're horny, having no consideration what your nature is and what you're supposed to do, what it's doing. Well, at least we have human beings here. They're walking around with a bunch of childhood trauma. They're causing crimes. They're negative. They're depressed. They're spazzing out on you. But hey, at least they're born, right, guys? At least they're born. Oh, who cares? Your mother was angry because she didn't figure her life out, and your father was absent because he just was horny. And, anyways, yeah, there's a huge imbalance in the masculine and feminine ways of being. Even relationships that both a man and a woman are present, but they are so agitating one another. They're causing each other agitation and the domestic violence and this and that and the other thing. So, why is there this imbalance? Imbalance is there because, at least in my opinion or I believe, Men don't know how to be strong, and women don't know how to be soft. I think that's people's power. Men's power is strength and aggression and forward movement, and women's power was more receptive and soft and creative. Okay, why is this guy? You're getting muted for 5 minutes, my friend. You need to chill out. And these comments are not going to be tolerated anymore in my live stream, so you're getting timed out again until you fix your speech pattern. All right, my friend? Where are we heading as a collective, do you think? I think that there's going to be a split. The split is between people that are going towards more living in congested cities and getting jobs that they don't really like and being controlled by AI, which they certainly will be controlled by AI. I don't mean controlled like they're sitting in some kind of, well, I mean like they're going to be sitting in some cubicle and everything is going to be monitored and their desires are going to be influenced by AI, what they see on advertisers. They're going to be so heavily monitored that the AI will know what product you want to buy and it'll be there and it'll be $10 more and you'll pay for it. So there are going to be so many different controlling things you don't even aware of that's going to be controlled by AI, by all this data that's being consumed. People will just live like zombies. That's one side. Another side, people are going to go into the forests and have homesteads and have land and have children and have families and just not be participating in that. And it'll be there, it'll be in the periphery, but you don't want to have anything to do with that. So that is, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful for the conscious people. It's not going to be wonderful for the people that are lost and confused. I should not have kids now, but I will have kids. And I will raise my kids in a conscious way. I'll raise my kids in the way that, first of all, I won't raise kids. What is that? Is my kids cattle or something? You raise animals. I provide the environment which allows the child to blossom. And he's not my child either. He just came through me, and I'm responsible for him for his safety and upbringing. But whatever the child is, whatever this flower is, let it blossom. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to tell you a story about that, KK, and everybody else is here. There's a woman that I know. I'll keep her private, of course, but she had a guru, and her guru was much older than her. This woman was a Western woman, and this guru was an Indian man. And she had a dream, and also the man had a dream that he needs to save his semen for, or save his seed in a, in a storage facility, a professional storage facility, because in the future, wise being is going to come through him. And then this woman, many years later, had some kind of desire to do that and some spiritual insights. And she said to me that when she was laying in bed, she could feel some being circling around her and wanting to come in and saying, I want to come in, I want to be born. So then they kind of met and she went through the appropriate channels, meaning in a laboratory, this was done. And then she gave birth. And wow. So So certainly, I'm not going to make a child just willy-nilly. Oh, it tickles my fancy. It'll have to be something that's aligned and spiritual. And maybe it won't even be done. Maybe I'll just stay celibate for the rest of my life. That's also possible. I am more than happy to do that. I haven't spilled my semen in approximately 3 years. Well, once with a woman, but I don't like to count that. So my work, my job here on this YouTube channel and on this live stream is to demolish your ignorance and stupidity. If I can demolish your ignorance and stupidity, like the people here that are saying this, what a beautiful scam, this is the people that I'm here for. The amount of ignorance and confusion you hold in your brain and your mind is like a cave. And the cave needs to be knocked from all sides. The bricks need to fall on the floor, and the light needs to shine, seep through, and seep in. That is what my work is for. And I'll make myself so addicting, so light filled, that even the haters, the parasocial Freaks, they can't help but to come here and to do this and to continue to watch. They're not parasocial freaks. They're human beings. And I'm not better than them. Some people are just far along. Some people are close. Some people are wise. Some people are not so wise. And I'm here to shine a light for all moths to fly to the light. All human beings. So if you have a question, my friend, send a super chat. Would you ever donate your sperm under special circumstances? But I'm not going to say, freeze my sperm. That's just not, I don't think that's good. Sperm doesn't need to be frozen. I will donate my sperm to my wife when she's ready to have a child and to deliver a baby. That's the best donation. Why do you think life has to have a complementary role, like the two genders? That's just how it is in the universe. It's a law. It's a law of nature. And just because the social freaks, the social justice warriors, they think that it's not the case, that you can just be one and you're like that, you're gonna mentally suffer as a result of that. This is how it is in nature, not just in human beings. It's everywhere. It's not even in the animals, it's in the actual fabric of the universe. There's a law of gender, of male and female. Everything has this. Trees have this. The sky has this. Light has this. Atoms have this. There's polar opposites. There's man and female, male and female. So this goes back to the seven hermetic principles. And these hermetic principles you should study and you should know. And I'm going to Google them. Seven hermetic principles. This was taught by Hermes, the god of something. I'll tell you what the god is. What are the seven hermetic principles? The first hermetic principle is the law of mentalism, that all is mind. The second principle is the law of correspondence, as above, so below. The third is the principle of vibration, everything is vibrating. The second is the principle of polarity, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything is polar opposite. There is extreme to every degree. The fifth principle is the principle of rhythm. Everything flows in and out, up and down. The tides come in, the tides go out, the sun rises and falls. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has its cause. Nothing happens by chance. Every action creates a reaction, and vice versa. And the seventh principle is the principle of gender. Everything, gender is everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principle. This applies to all planes of existence, physical, mental, and spiritual, and is crucial for creation. So these are the laws of the creation. These are not some social fabrics. Is there any studies on babies born from mature sperm are born superior in ways, smarter, or special skills? I don't know. Maybe there are. I would have to Google that. But yes, a sperm matures at approximately 80 days. So 80 days, if you're a man, you wait 80 days, 84 days without ejaculating, your sperm is matured. And then, well, whatever that means. This is just intellectual stuff. I don't know this by experience. But I will. I will know a lot of things by experience. Please play Brahmananda Swarupa in the background. I am, but it's only audible for me. It's very quiet. If I play it any louder, it'll be too loud. So YouTube doesn't allow me the. Okay, maybe I will. How's that? Okay. I think well, let's Google it. I'm wondering what the answer is then. Is there any downside to a man older in age, let's say above 40, in his 50s, 60s, or 70s, impregnating a woman? Let's say the woman is young. In terms of his semen and his seed potency, is it lost throughout the ages, or does it remain the same?
Yes, there are downsides. A man's semen quality and sperm potency generally decline with age, even if he can still father kids into his 70s or beyond. Sperm volume, motility, how well they swim, and normal shape all tend to drop after around 40. DNA fragmentation in the sperm goes up, and new genetic mutations accumulate because sperm cells keep dividing, roughly 2 extra mutations per year.
Wow.
By 50,
So if you're a man, have kids in your 20s and 30s. Don't wait till you're 40 or more. Would you drink Brad Pitt milk for 10K dono? By milk, do you mean his special sauce? The answer is no. Um, yeah. So genetic mutations. You can't hear it. Oh, it's probably because of this. That should be much better. So genetic mutations, that's why we die. Our cells mutate or divide, and that happens constantly. But the older you get, for some reason, the mutations or the divisions become corrupted. So cells start to break apart. And the older you get, the more of this happens, the more corruption happens, until finally you just entirely corrupted and you die. That's the way I understand it. So your chances of creating a baby with defects increases with age, yes. So if you have any questions, my friends, let me know down below. Be happy to answer. Off topic, but what's your thoughts on the Vietnam Meditation Center / annual refuge Dr. Rob is trying to facilitate? I think that he's going to achieve it. I think he's going to accomplish it. I He said in the next 2 or 3 months he can make it happen, which I support that. I think that's going to be a good thing for him and for everybody else involved. Um, I'm curious also to see if it does happen. That's going to be wonderful. Um, yeah, I don't think Dr. Up is a bad guy. I think he's generally a good guy, but he talks a lot of bad things. Aloha, aloha. Still can't hear. How can you not hear? This is for sure. You can hear this. It's not even his mantra, by the way. Do you consume ghee? I do not consume ghee because ghee comes from animals and I don't eat animal products. So, that is loud. Hmm. Without variations in cells, you can't change and evolve. Sometimes those mutations can be more negative or more positive. Interesting. So it's not always negative. So this music is slightly overpowering my voice. I have to turn it down. But I listen to this mantra daily. I listen to this mantra multiple times, multiple hours a day. And I want this mantra to become the basis of my memory. I want it to become what is playing in my body when I'm just silent. And it's starting to happen. And it has happened today. Meaning, I took a shower, I was getting ready for this live stream, and I could hear this mantra be played in my mind, almost as if it's being played outside. So it is definitely taking effect. So hopefully you've noticed that the quality of my live streams has improved. Not only the visible quality and the audio quality, I don't mean like that, but the energy quality, because I've changed. Approximately a week ago, I realized that I'm just suffering when people are bringing up the animal abuse side of things. And also, I'm just really angry at my live streams because there's no energy for me to rely on. There's no kind of stable platform for me to go, or there's no goalpost for me to aim at. I'm just kind of going all over the place. I knew that I need something, some kind of a base or a platform. So this is the best mantra maybe in the world, and I play it every day on my live streams. Sometimes you can't hear it, but it's here, and it's giving me a place to react to, and something to feel and something to listen to while I'm talking. It's giving me, yeah, I hope you can understand. So, thank you. You like Mike Wahlberg? Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, if watching the animal videos hurt you a lot, so how can you eat it? How can you eat that? Truth seeker, hemp keeper. Yeah, certainly. Bored Bad Brains changed his name finally to Truth Seeker Hemp Keeper. That's excellent. It's one of the best names. Nothing better than being a truth seeker, and keeping hemp is extraordinary also. So, best of both worlds. So, Kian, can you still hear this? I've turned it down a little bit. Those vids will hurt you watching them. You have a good point. Yeah. If watching slaughterhouse videos hurts you, but that byproduct is the meat, then you go take and you eat. So, something needs to be added. Something needs to be done. It was time, yes. I don't know they treat pigs the way at all. Yeah. Pigs probably have it the worst. Chickens have it pretty bad. Cows also, but pigs may be the worst of all. So that's the cost of bacon, I guess. How am I? I'm doing great. Doing great. So I'd like to continue. Shambho, Shambho, Shambho. I'm not a farmer. What topic having right now? Well, if you have questions, send them over. I'd be happy to answer. Pigs are the most compassionate animals on earth towards others. It's proven by science. So shame on us for exploiting pigs, beating pigs, killing pigs, and eating them ultimately. Ask him why a vegan cloned meat in lab, and why do vegan hamburgers exist? And eat salads. Just eat salads. Well, they exist because people that eat meat transition from eating meat to being a vegan. So sometimes the pleasant taste of the protein rich, fatty hamburger exists. So it's an easy substitute. but by no means that is the staple of the diet. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and legumes are all vegan food. So, no, but you are forcing cows to go into the slaughterhouse to die. That's a little bit worse than asking someone to eat a plant based burger. Am I still pursuing the vegan beekeeping? Absolutely. So the flowers are blossoming. This tree is blossoming. I know that is the time. It is the time to do that. I still need to do one or two things, and before I can put the beehive out. And unfortunately, life circumstances made it so that it's a little more difficult. But that is still my priority, my top priority, and it'll get done. So yeah, I hope that lab grown meat becomes famous and popular, and people choose to kill less cows. And also the ticks. The CIA released some kind of a tick into the atmosphere that if it bites you, you become allergic to eating cows. Which, if there is an allergy that's going to help towards reducing the suffering on the planet, that's definitely a good one. Humans are so detached from the suffering of fellow humans, let alone being concerned about animal suffering. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Very, very good point. So we have to increase our circle of concern to extend beyond our family and friends and our immediate surroundings to the whole world. And it's not hard to do. So if you love animals, don't eat them. Lone Star ticks make you allergic to red meat. You don't know. There's no such thing as taking good care of an animal that you're going to kill or shoot in the head. That's not taking good care. That would tick me off. Yep. Yeah, be careful with ticks. They carry Lyme's disease. Make sure that you're fully covered, and then check your body when you come back home. I'll try to change vegetarian for 30 days. I want to see the difference. Yes. Make sure you eat enough calories. Make sure you need enough protein. Make sure you take a B12 supplement or a nutritional yeast, fortified nutritional yeast, and eat a variety of food. Don't just eat rice and beans. You're probably not going to feel so good after 30 days. How would you care for the thousands of animals that are domesticated for food? Well, just let them live. Let them live a peaceful, happy life until they die. What more do you want? You brought them into existence. I didn't bring them into existence. You paid for that to happen. So you should take after. You should look after them. Tuck your pants into your socks to prevent ticks from crawling up your leg. Lemongrass all around your ankles helps. Also, I believe, to keep ticks at bay. Yeah, you need to be well covered, certainly. I live in a place that has ticks, so socks over my pants is a must. Dr. Greger recommending creatine. Interesting. Where would they all live? Well, where would they live now? I do Shambhavi Mahamudra. Meditation has to be a daily thing. It has to be something that you're doing even right now in this live stream. It's not difficult to do, but the problem is that you pay way more attention to your mind and your thinking process and your forehead region, this whole thing. And it's so much more valuable than everything else that's happening. In my mind, in my experience, this is just a small percentage. It's important to think, but not that important. And one should be aware of one's own inner reality. That's what meditation is. So you don't have to do fancy stuff. Just be aware of what's happening inside right now. You're meditating. Um, Bloating doesn't matter. You're the one to take them all in, and now it's your. So bloating can be mitigated by bloating happens when people switch from a meat eater diet to a vegan diet, and your digestive system is not equipped to handle that fiber yet. So you don't have the microbes to consume the fiber. Your microbes or your digestive tract is designed or trained to consume rotting flesh. So once you slowly transition, it becomes easier and easier and better and better. And then it's no problem at all. Yes, like this video. Like this video. So what else? What's more? Uh, Bloated. Wow. Well, it kind of worked out. Do you believe that we were evolutionary omnivores, even though we should eat vegan? Yes. We, our ancestors ate animal corpses to survive, and they lived to be 20 or 30 years old. So shout out to them. Thank God they survived. You're using a back of your mind to focus on between your brain and brain, presumably through your body. Shambho. Shambho, Shambho, Shambho. So if you have questions, let me know. I am against exploitation and against injuring innocent beings, but I wasn't living in alignment with that when I was still eating animals. Now I'm in alignment with actually, now I actually practice what I preach. Excellent, excellent. So, okay, tell me about the vagus nerve activation. I don't know what that is. It sounds familiar. I'd have to Google it. You passed Master Shiva when? Excellent. What is the vagus nerve? What is the vagus nerve? Are women also supposed to hold in ejaculation also, or is it only for men? The vagus nerve is most certainly a reference to the vagus nerve. Body vagus comes from Latin word wandering. which fits into the specific called the one. Remember the biggest nerve scoop on that's too complex for me. Um, the problem is with ejaculation and orgasm. There's a fantastic book you can read, or even videos you can watch online called Karetsa by this woman, and it's very simple. The more orgasms, the more ejaculation you have, the more dopamine is released. But if you overdo that, if you do that too much, you're going to have the opposite effect. You're going to be less sensitive to life and more irritable and more depressed. So, yeah, intensity needs to be built, not just oof. So, yeah, it's different for a woman because you don't have anything to retain, but we're talking about the orgasm itself, not the actual semen. I don't believe in scriptures or things that were written in a book 1,000 years ago or whatever, because those things were written by men, written by human beings. And dangerous, religion is very dangerous. It's very dangerous to think that God wrote a book and that you're going to believe that book. It is extremely dangerous. And we can see the danger in some very big world religions. The biggest religion right now is a religion that's coming up. Very dangerous religion, very, very dangerous. We should be very mindful and aware of what's happening. And because things are changing, even in the Western countries, things are changing in the worst, for the worst direction. So we should educate ourselves on that. If you don't know what religion I'm talking about, it's a peaceful religion, the very peaceful one. Hinduism is not a religion, it's a dharma, certainly. Hinduism is. Mm, okay, this guy's getting timed out. Greetings, Shiva. Thank you for choosing Death Star Airlines for surviving. First of all, please react and send a message. What? Yes, I love this planet. Why was he timed out? Was it spamming? Or did you want to challenge that? So I'm not going to tolerate people that don't have anything constructive or positive to say, even positive to say. Just negative nonsense. Um, we'll see. We'll experiment with that. Sheila, what's your real name? How much of a super chat to reveal? Why do you want to know? What's your zodiac sign? I'm a Libra. Libra. Yeah. The balancing scales. What I'm becoming to realize is that Jesus Christ is very powerful. Clearly, he must be very powerful because so many religions want him dead and want Christians not to believe in him. Whenever so much desire to destroy that whole thing arises, it always makes me question why that's happening. And so, especially the Muslims and the Jews, they, at least some of them, okay, not all, but in some texts, they really don't like this. Also, in the Western countries, like in America, in Hollywood, they really denounce Jesus. And in their little rituals, their demonic rituals on performing on stage and singing their their songs, they really want to destroy Jesus' image because it holds so much power for people. It's so powerful. So I definitely want to take steps towards Jesus because if he has so many enemies, it means he's doing something good. Especially not just because you have enemies, it means you're doing something good. Maybe people just hate you because you're a bad guy. But when when people that cause terrorist attacks say they hate something, that's what you should pay attention to. Let's very look strongly at this. So people. Oh, Dr. Rob, Dr. Rob. Dr. Rob is not here. Not to say the believers aren't loving people. Shout out to the believers. They believe things. So religion needs to have less customers because it's not true. Being a seeker, on the other hand, is something that is worthwhile. You need to look, investigate. But joining some organization like Christianity or Islam or Judaism, why? Ah, I just like organizations. Okay. Allah doesn't exist. Can't be great. Organized Sadhguru has an organized religion? No, I don't think so. Well, he has an organization, but not a religion. Someone said, I don't want to believe, I want to know. Yes, that's very wise. The people of the most peaceful religion won't even wish peace upon non believers. Peace is so exclusive to them. That is correct. Almost on my way to my dad's at the border of Canada. Check in when I can. Excellent. Welcome to almost Canada. Hey, gotta get some vegan poutine. Jesus didn't fulfill a single prophecy. Shout out to Jesus. Sadhguru is like Jesus to me. An incredible human being. This is Vishnu, and he has 4 arms because he's very competent. Not because he had 4 arms, but he might as well have 4 arms with all the things he can do. No, no. Vishnu, come to my live stream now. The new iPhone, the power cable is so strongly connected to the phone. It's difficult to take it out. I took it out. Have you seen the painting for by the 8-year-old girl who painted Jesus historically accurate because she had a vision of to it? No, I haven't. I won't see that. Can I Google that? Let's see. 8-year-old girl's painting of Jesus. Oh, hmm. Jesus looks interesting. The more I see it, it's just audio. So, yeah, I mean, it makes me realize that Jesus was just a man, not the Son of God. Of course, he was a Son of God in the yogic sense, because there's many um, sons of God. Let me check if it's on your end. Yogic sense. I think it's on your end. You can hear. Sounds like God. Let me check it. It's your forearms. Oh, Dr. Rob, Dr. Rob. So, can you guys hear the audio? What do you genuinely think of Jesus? I think he was a yogi. I think he was a yogi just like there are many countless of yogis. I'm a yogi, but he's a yogi of cosmic proportions, much more capable, competent than me. I can be a soccer player. I'm a soccer player. I play soccer occasionally with my friends, and Ronaldo plays soccer, but we're not in the same capabilities. So it's kind of like that. There have been thousands of yogis in India that have similar accomplishments to Jesus, meaning they can do occult things. They can change water into wine. They can walk on water. They can walk through walls. They can fly. They can do all sorts of things. And Jesus used terminology that led to creating a world religion, talking about God or talking about the Father. Well, it's true. The universe is, there is a mother and a father in the universe. The mother is the material creation. The father is that which is beyond the material creation, the thing that things come from. And, but to say that he's an exclusive being, that the only way to spirituality is through him and the only way to God is through him, it's not accurate. Yeah, if you're Jesus, that's probably what you would say, because who else around you has this? Nobody. So the only way to God is through me. Come on, quickly. Let's go. But if you ask Jesus, hey, Jesus, 600 years ago, there was a guy named the Buddha. Can you get to God through the Buddha? If he said no, I would start to question Jesus. What? What do you mean? Or maybe Jesus has the intention of creating urgency in you, saying, I'm the only person. Come on, just do it. Just do it. Just learn. Just get there. So Jesus is like Sadhguru. I don't know if Jesus was more capable or competent than Sadhguru or not, or who, but clearly he was a man. He was a yogi in a bad time and in a bad place. So he got killed for that. And still, Jesus' energy brings a lot of positivity to people's lives. And we're thankful for that. So he was a man. He was a man. He was not the son of God, as in God had one child and he sent him to earth. That I'm 90% sure that's not the case. What? Jesus is the Son of God in the same way that I'm the Son of God. But how strong am I the Son of God? How much God is in me? How close I am to the Father? Well, Jesus definitely was a lot more closer to the Father than I am. So in that way, he was the Son of God. And you know this because he turned to his disciples and said, you are gods. You also are gods. If he didn't say that, if he said, oh, only me, 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 then it would be much more suspicious. What do you think about Christians, though? Like the Jesus, my Lord viewer. Well, people are looking for safety and authority, and they see it in Jesus Christ. They see that they can throw their baggage onto him. And I respect that. I agree with that. It's technically not accurate, but hey, if it works, if you're burning yourself through devotion, meaning burning your ignorance and confusion and delusion through just sheer devotion, saying Jesus is the only thing, Jesus is my breath, Jesus is my life, that's great. That's good. So devotion is a very fast way to spiritual liberation. But to say that the only way is through Jesus, that's a farce. It's wrong. Otherwise there wouldn't be yogis in India that have immense power and capability and wisdom as well, that have no idea about Jesus. So that's not the only way to the Father. Hmm. Shout out to Amazon Echo. So I want to have a better connection with Jesus. I want to have a more connection, a deeper connection with Jesus. I feel Jesus' energy. And when I see the satanic, demonic people on the planet renounce Jesus and revile Jesus, it makes me love Jesus even more. What am I talking about? Who am I talking about? Well, the demonic, satanic rituals that are done in Hollywood, like by artists, um, by these musicians. You know, they do kind of they do rituals on stage. You may not think it's a ritual, but it's a ritual. I just Googled what this word, I just Googled demonic music in Hollywood, and I clicked on images, and there's like 5 images. Oh, never mind. There's a lot more images. So, let me see if I can show you some pictures. Anyways, I can't show you here because there's they want to hide these things. They don't want to show it to the public. But you go to any famous musician, some of them are much worse than the other ones, and you just watch it. It's just like a demonic ritual. It's so easy to see. It's like, why would you ever go there? It's yeah. So shout out to the demons out there and people that support them. Why do I don't want donations? Because I like money. Can you connect with Muhammad? Shout out to Muhammad for being a warlord, person that killed. I think he cut off the heads of like 600 people at a time. So that guy is real spiritual, right, guys? Yeah. So no, there are people that worship the devil and to go towards the devil. Like Madonna, for example. Do you know Madonna? Oh man, she's one of the devil's favorites. Allegedly, in my opinion. Let me make sure to say that first. Shout out to Madonna, an incredible musician. I like her songs. Her songs are so powerfully connected with that energy. And she herself, man, she herself even looks like that. Let me show you a picture. Allegedly, in my opinion, okay? Allegedly, in my opinion. Allegedly, in my opinion, she looks like something. If you have any spiritual sense, you can also feel the energy that's coming off of her. Allegedly, in my opinion, all right? So I don't know anything. I'm stupid and I'm not suicidal. And God bless everybody, okay? But some people choose to go into the direction of the demon and devil because it gives you immense material power quickly. Look at that. And these people think that there's no consequences. That's the funny part. Oh, there's no consequences. You just live your life and maybe you get some happiness. And she's doing well, clearly. We don't know what happens behind the stage, but I guarantee you there are consequences. There are severe consequences. You don't just involve yourself with the mafia and expect there no to be no consequences. There's going to be consequences materially, most likely. You do the wrong thing, you get your hands chopped off. But even energetically, you go towards criminality. The thing that what happens to your aura, what happens to your energy is that what happens. That's what happens. So you can't go towards that area of life and expect well-being. It just doesn't work. It's like you saying you're going to wash your hands in fire, or you're going to, I don't know, make a fire with water. The laws of nature prevent that. It is a contradiction. So it is immense ignorance that makes people do this. Immense. I cannot imagine myself ever doing that. I dabbled. I wanted to see what it's like. That was necessary for my growth, I guess. But if you go more into that direction, you're going more into the realm of non well being. And, you know, shout out to those people. You want to be, you want to be famous really bad, and somebody comes to you. Oh, how badly do you want to be famous? Are you willing to make certain sacrifices? Sure, I'll do anything. Then you'll be famous, literally in a year. Um, but at what cost? At what consequence? Well, we don't know. So shout out to all the Hollywood stars. I'm sure they're all good people. And everything here is just my opinion, and it's all alleged. It's just allegedly. So I don't know. Anyways, let's move on from this and let's continue. So, my friends, Jesus is the way. Jesus is the only way. You go towards Jesus, all right? So, if anybody has any questions, let me know. If you have the means or the care to send a super chat, send me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate to see the energy. Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. Yeah. Jesus is my Lord says that the Lord Jesus Christ appeared in my dreams and told me that he will come to judge the world. Okay, I hope he does. And quickly. The Buddha said that there is a hell, that if you do bad things in this life, you'll be taken there. How? Well, if you steal, if you do crimes, if you kill, you're causing a lot of pain in your mind. So you'll be in hell here and now. And the discoloration of your mind, the energy of your mind, being in a state of hellish, when you die, that's where your mind will gravitate towards, that kind of condition. And it has been said that the worst hell in the existence is, I guess they call it Avicii or something else like that, where you're born as a kind of like a bat type being. It's complete pitch black. You can't see anything. And you live in a solitary existence for a long time. And once in a while, you come in contact with your fellow species and you think that it's food. And then they fight to the death and killing each other and eating each other. So you live there for a long time. That's like that. There are other depictions of hell, but hell is a state of being. It's a realm. Like we're in the human realm right now. We have a human form. It's fantastic to be in a human world. Wow, look at this. I'm like a human guy. I have I'm like I shaped myself. I have a hat. I'm like a human being. We also have a realm of animals. It's right here, right beside us. And the realm of animals. Oh, you do not want to go there. You do not want to live as an animal, unless maybe in some super special circumstance you get born as some famous actor's dog. You get taken care of and then you die. Cool. But still, you're a dog. You don't want to be a dog. The animal realm is filled with fear and filled with ignorance. There's other realms, like the realm of the ghosts. You can be reborn as a ghost, or you can live like a ghost. I've seen ghosts physically. There's the realm of demons. There's other realms, painful realms. So you don't want to go into painful realms. You want to do kind things. You want to improve life, be generous with life, and then transition onwards, become better. I met a Lutheran pastor saying everything else was evil and yogis and yoga is evil. Is that the influence of Jesus? No. That is him not understanding or fearing things that are different, not understanding things that are different. stretching your body and doing yoga poses is not evil. And Jesus was a yogi himself. So religion is about control. It's a kind of an organization. It's a kind of me versus you or us versus them. That's not spiritual practice. It's not spiritual process. That's what largely the religions go into the world. It's a kind of like a war, but a spiritual way. So in a more coarse way, we would have a country, we would put up walls, and it's us, and then we're going and conquesting others. That's very coarse, it's very bloody, very violent. A religion is the same mindset, but in a it's a more kind of altruistic way. Oh, with God, and we're gonna convert the non-believers, and we're gonna this they're evil, they're disgusting. And it's not much difference. There's not much difference to anybody on planet Earth, by the way. We're just human beings here. And yeah, we have different skin, we have different cultures. But if you get to know anybody in any culture, after a while, it's like, oh, there's my friend. That the superficial things go away. Thank you. You like my humble approach. I appreciate that. Yeah, Edward, I'm glad you like the pizza. What's the difference between the rosary on my neck, or the necklace around my neck, and the rosary in Christianity? That's a good question. So the rosaries in Christianity that people use to count, usually it's 108 beads. You can count it. And the reason why it's 108, I'll mention in a few moments. The material of a rosary is wood because there's nothing else. But this is not a rosary. This is a very profound, powerful spiritual tool. In fact, the energy that I'm communicating to you here right now today is influenced by this. This will influence you in very powerful and positive ways. This is called a rudraksha. These are tears of Shiva. It's a fruit that grows only in the Himalayan mountains. It's an electric blue fruit. You peel the fruit, and these are the seeds. This is not just regular fruit seeds like peach seeds. No, this is engineered by a spiritual being and of extreme proportions. There are different faces of these seeds. This one has 5 faces. There are 5 individual faces of the bead. The bead naturally has a hole through it to basically be used as a necklace. So the story goes that Shiva, the first yogi, sat in the Himalayan mountains and tears of ecstasy dribbled down his face. Where the tears fell, a tree blossomed, the tree of Rudraksha, or the Shiva's teardrops. And the tree blossoms or blooms electric blue fruits, the color of the throat chakra or the color of Shiva. You see, he has a snake around his neck. And these are the seeds. That's why yogis everywhere wear this, because it helps you connect to Shiva. So, in other cultures adopted this, not fully, because there's always going to be distortions the farther away you go, with 108 beads of something else. Well, they're taking from the right inspiration, but it's not this, it's not Rudraksha. So, out of probably any spiritual tool you can acquire, this is one of the best ones, or at least any necklace you can acquire, this is the best one. And where can you buy it? If you go to the Himalayas, if you go to Nepal, you can buy it there. And ideally, you buy 108 beads. This is 108 beads. So you find a reputable dealer that will sell it to you, and you can buy it there in Nepal. Second best place you can buy it is from me, from my website, shivakailash.com. Buy it today. Shameless plug. So, would you like to join Jesus in heaven? Sure, why not? Mm. What do I think about the Holy Spirit? I don't think much about it. I like it. Are you a determinist? I don't know what that means. Determinist. Do I think that things get determined by our actions? Certainly. Do you know what determinism is? And are you one? Let me Google what determinism is. Determinism. Determinism is the philosophy and scientific view that all events, including human actions and decisions, are inevitable results of preceding causes and natural laws. It suggests that given specific state of the universe, only future is possible, implying that the theory of future is completely predictable of all causal factors are known. That's very interesting. Let me summarize it. If you knew where every single molecule in the atmosphere is, we can predict the climate 100% accurate because we know where every single molecule is. So, in that way, yes. But I don't think the material world is. I think there are things that are deeper than the material world. So, the thing that's deeper can manipulate the material world. Just because the atoms in my body are spinning in one way, I can make it have a totally different effect. I can cause it to affect in a different way or to be in a different way. So I I do think and know that the law of cause and effect is real, that every cause has an effect and every effect has a cause. But you are the authority of your life. That's what you should take out of this. You have 100% responsibility for the way that you uh, act and feel and go through life. And yeah, so take charge of your life. Thank you. Thank you. Do you think hell is hot or don't you care? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Why hot? Why not cold? Cold is also bad. I am determinist because I believe everything that happens, and everything that is deeper and affecting it. Well, that's irrelevant because who cares what you believe or what you don't believe? It's only what you know and see and experience. I believe in Santa Claus, and you believe in determinism. It doesn't make any difference. It's literally the same thing. So either one thing is one way or one thing is not that way. But you thinking that you believe something and it's going to make the universe that way, it's not true. So instead of believing and thinking, why don't you look and have a deeper perspective, a perception, and to know the truth? Find out what actually is happening, not what you think. For me, it's best to leave Jesus out of my mind because of all the religion and falsehood associated with it. Yes, but Jesus is not a religion. Jesus was a yogi. You should come in contact with that man. Not necessarily you have to go to church, but churches are also quite powerful, at least some of them, like cathedrals. Um, yeah. So come in contact with Jesus and Jesus' energy. It's fantastic. And I hope you do. And I wish that for you. Do you have hatred for people? No, not really, unless they do something bad. But hatred is not good. Do you think you can develop power by meditating? Are you into astral projection? No, I'm not. But I know you can develop power through meditating. I've developed powers through meditating. I don't believe because I want things to be a certain way. I believe because of what I experience. Okay. Well, then you don't believe then. You know. Why was he killed? For being rambunctious. I don't have any money left. Well, go and earn some. Who would kill a yogi? Stupid people, crazy people. I have already. Oh, excellent. From where did you learn all about Buddhism? You're from India? By the way, I'm Indian. I learned about Buddhism through the Pali Canon and through reading books and watching videos and meditating with people. Was Yogi Bear also a yogi? Well, if he was called a yogi, maybe he was called a yogi for being a yogi, in which case that was really good. Bears can't be really be yogis because bears don't have that quality that humans have, but at least by name. How do you attribute means through self-reflection? I don't know. Understand your question. Do I look Indian? There's a Jesus temple on the drive to Coimbatore Isha Center. Did you see it? It has the Jesus energy. Yes, I have seen it actually. I was surprised. Wow, it was a big statue. That's cool. You look Afghan. I don't know what that is. You're not the first person to say that. How do you attribute meaning through self-reflection? I don't attribute meaning. Self-reflection is enough. The statue just winked at you. This is the power of the statue. It's energized. So it is energetically moving. It can have that kind of experience. When I look at it, it's almost like a human being. It really has that effect. Isn't your mind like a placebo effect? If you say you're going to have to bad, most likely you will, because yeah, your mind does do that. Yes, you look white, but also racially ambiguous at the same time. Make veggie pizza. That look good. Yes, I will today. I think I'm talking about a different one than you, but I remember on the drive to the airport, there was on a long road, it was a highway, and I just turned and I see a big Jesus temple or Jesus cross and church and lights. And I thought, oh, Sadhguru, I wonder what Sadhguru thinks when he drives past this place. Are you Abrahamic? No. Do you believe Jesus' mom was a virgin? Maybe. I don't. I don't really care about that stuff. If he was a virgin or not, Jesus had a fancy birth. I had a normal birth. I'm not strange. I think he's just Eastern European. Correct. I'm Eastern European. Yes. So we are going to do a 12-hour live stream at some point. Maybe it's going to be today, but that is going to require a lot. I don't know how I'm going to do that. First name Virgin, last name Mary. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's funny. So it's probably not going to be today, but we have to make that happen. Why don't you have a girlfriend? You mean a romantic partner or a sexual partner? Because I don't find value in that stuff. But I have girls that are friends. That's cool. So when I meet a woman that is, you know, wife material, then I'll marry her. But right now, that hasn't isn't there yet. Do you do mantras? Yes, I'm listening to a mantra right now. Brahmananda Swarupa. What does Sadhguru say about marriage? Can the followers marry or not? Yes. There are many Westerners that, not many, but there's some Westerners that are living in the yoga center that have married Indian women, but the only thing is they can't live in the ashram because commingling in the ashram is not allowed. You go outside and do that. So you have just lost internet in intimacy without connection. Interest in intimacy without connection. Yes, yes. So there's no interest for me to have physical intimacy without any meaningful connection. Interesting. Does Shiva really exist? Yes, I think so. Are your female friends virgins or are they contaminated with energy from partners? Do you tell them they are damaged goods? Okay, Worm, you are getting a quick timeout, okay? Let's just put you on a timeout for 1 minute. And the answer is no. Do Indian women want clean just as much as Western women? Probably. Probably. I agree. Sex for no good reason isn't worth it. Yes. Yes. Are you familiar with Gayatri Mantra? If so, do you have any thoughts on it? Gayatri Mantra, from what I've heard Sadhguru talk about, is not really towards spiritual process. It's not a spiritual mantra. It has its own qualities, but it's more towards beauty or something. So you're better off chanting some mantras by Sadhguru, like Brahmananda Swarupa. Does Shiva have a body or just formless? Shiva is both human form and also formless. The entire creation, the emptiness of the universe is Shiva. Do you read? I'm reading now your comments. You mean if I read books? Not really. I don't really like reading books. What principles from mantras have revealed deeper meaning to you? Mm, that you can get energy from listening to mantras. Could you scroll up and read my comment? What does Sadhguru say about marriage? Can the followers be married? Yeah, I already had read your comment. Hello, my faithful leader, Stephen. Thank you. Welcome. So, I have the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Do you believe in ghosts? I don't need to believe in them. I know them. Do you follow a certain religion? I follow Hinduism. Hello from Australia. Hello, Australia. Land down under. Beautiful land. Have you helped anyone to do anything today? Yeah, helped lots of people on this live stream. They should make Jesus what he really is. Then I could participate. Otherwise, in America, it's completely distorted, and no one is in reality completely lacking. Mm, yes, we need to go away from religion and go towards spirituality. Do you speak to Sadhguru in your mind? Occasionally, rarely. Put your hand in front of your mouth when you yawn. Okay. Is there any Buddhist monastery near you? I haven't checked, but probably there is. Maybe I will go to one of them. Um, Isha Jaganisha. I find it so difficult to listen to anyone on such matters as you speak. This is my third time I have chosen to listen to you. Why? Why do you find it difficult to listen? That would be epic to see you at Canadian Buddhist monastery. Maybe we can make it happen. A lot of faith don't allow marriage, but I don't like that, and some discourage marriage. Yeah, unplanned babies are not the way to go. I'm gonna probably stay to Canada, in Canada for a while. Actually, I think I had a dream about me going to Australia, and I was thinking, why am I going to Australia? I hear my family talk about their expectations for me, even when they're in another country. Yeah, shout out to parents. Daily check-in Shiva today was 32 cows, total of 102 families were fed. Tony, I'm going to respond to your comment because I have faith in you. Let's rephrase your question and then we'll move on. My name is Tony. Today we killed 32 cows that didn't want to suffer and die. They were, of course, afraid and we slaughtered them. Why? Because 102 families like the taste of their flesh and their blood. No other reason. So, Tony, I guess shout out to you for doing immoral things. Cool. Good luck. Best of luck with that. The only reason I'm into spirituality is because I want to develop powers. That's not a good intention. Sadhguru doesn't follow Hinduism. He's more aligned with yoga, which is in union with life, and Buddha Siddhartha. Yeah, I agree with that. Unplanned, unplanned babies are beautiful and perfect. Yeah, that's true. I hear voices in my head. Is it God or ghosts? I can't tell you. You are the one that's inside of your own head. Is the mantra consecrated? Yes. He actually makes fun of Hinduism because it has 36,000 gods. He doesn't make fun of Hinduism because it has 36,000 gods. Not 36,000, 33 million gods. He is proud of that. That's a nature of God building and God creating. Since Kundalini slash pineal gland activation, I have seen through the veil, and there is so much infiltration, distortions on every level. Do you believe that I'm an infiltration and a distortion? I will check in tomorrow. My brother, God bless you on your journey. Thank you so much. God bless you as well. And stay away from cows. Who are the biggest victims of wars? Women and children. Are children innocent? Sometimes, most of the time. Some children are psychopaths and want to kill. Do you ever do contemplation, the principle of your God, and gain personal gnosis? No. Why was the Jews kill Jesus in was Jewish if he was Jewish? I don't know. Jewish people, shout out to the Jewish people, okay? For doing that. I wasn't there, so I can't tell. Thanks for your valuable time, PC cameras. PC cameras, if you think my time is valuable, then please donate. Thank you, thank you. In Vedas is mentioned 33. Take care. Okay. What does God tell you about the burden of making money? God doesn't tell me anything. And if God's telling you things, you should probably turn yourself into the psychiatric ward. They have lots of people talking about the psych ward is filled with people that are prophets and messengers of God. They're all talking to God. So either they're talking to God or their brains are scrambled. One of those is true. Shiva wanted me to come in contact with Jesus. Sadhguru is not a man of any scripture. He learns yoga from an old man who beat him in swimming. That's true. Well, that I did about religious is atrocities. Yeah. How's that? I talk to God every day and I see a therapist. They say there isn't much wrong with me. Okay. Do people who practice Hinduism utilize their gods for interpretation? I don't know, but the gods are cool. Some people can speak to God for sure. Sure. Hinduism is about introspective. The deities represents various lessons of morality and the human condition. Hmm. Interesting. Did you remove any doshas when starting your spiritual path? Yes. There's something called as naga dosha, which means the affliction of the snake. A lot of people have this, and it causes weird skin conditions. So if you just connect with a spiritual snake, let's say one from the Isha Yoga Center, you can remove this. I'm pretty sure I had this. Do you think heaven is worth uncomfiness now? Why does heaven require you to be uncomfortable? That's what I want to know. How are you if not being on in a while? I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. We are living in maybe one of the best times on earth. Are there problems? Are there wars? Yeah, but when is there never a war? There's always a war somewhere. And but we have so many access to resources. We have so many conveniences. So many things make it easiest to just be alive. I can go into another room and there's an abundance of water, an infinite amount of water, realistically. I can turn on the tap and have water run for months on end. I have to pay for it, of course, but it's there. I have electricity. I can turn on the lights and there's no more darkness. I can go make a fire in my house without any wood or sticks. I can cook food with it. Wow. I'm protected by these walls. It rains, it snows, it does anything windy. I'm protected. So it's really, really, really easy now. Really easy to do bigger and better things. Can you speak more on the dosha/skin, please? Well, the best person to listen to this is Sadhguru. If you look up Naga Dosha, Naga space dosha, Sosha, Sadhguru talks about this. It's an affliction of the snake, and it is when the base of your spine or the most primitive brain is affected, either for some survival reason or something else, and you get a kind of a reptilian affliction. The most common effects are skin conditions. Sometimes you have a skin condition like eczema or psoriasis or something else, and it just doesn't go away, no matter what you do. So you're being affected by this kind of snake affliction or reptile disease. And it's an energy nature, it's not physical. So you have to come in contact with a powerful energy form or energy snake energy. Like in the Isha Yoga Center, there's many snakes. You can go watch a video of the snake consecration or connect yourself powerfully and make yourself feel safe. That will go away. I thought you said you practice Hinduism. Yeah, I do. Sure, water is easy accessible, but it is a pure as it once was. That's true. That's true. But I don't know how many doshas I had, but I definitely do have dosas. I eat dosa. Um, Cholapuri and dosa. Is there hell down there too? What would Jesus do to avoid darkening hearts? I don't know. Is there heaven? Probably. When the Lutheran pastor was talking to me, I said, I see every deity like Jesus. Then I coughed a demonic cough. What do you have to say about that? Um, I mean, if you do, that's cool. Not really sure what else. Make use of it. And can you? First of all, can you? And I wonder what the priest's reaction was if you thought you were some sort of demonic being. So we have been live streaming for how long have we been live streaming for? Uh, 2 hours and 30 minutes. We will maybe go for another 30 minutes and then end it. I think we might do a 12-hour live stream today. So who knows? Maybe I'll go on the computer and live stream from there, but maybe not because I have chores to do. So who knows? Who knows? Where's Dr. Rob? Dr. Rob and I are probably not going to continue doing live streams as we once did. We don't have any similar interests, and it just doesn't go. It's not the way that it once was. The energy is exhausted. So your ideal next life. What is my ideal next life? Is to not exist, is to disappear and not have a life. Just have my mind and body break up so there's no more. didn't do anything. Yes, it was tense and awkward. Okay, I think we might just end it here and chances are good I will live stream again. This time from my computer, and we will be watching some videos. Maybe I'll be playing some video games. But will you be recycled? I don't know. God, you didn't need him. He will slow you down. Maybe. It control my life. The skin thing is real. I am consequence of 10 hours a day, every day. For years, it has nearly took my life daily. I grow and see people's health. So, in the field by the wall, please look up Sadhguru talking about this. He can do a much better explanation than me. Look up Nagadosha and see if that is the case. I heard you punched him in the eye and he's got a black eye. Yeah, spiritually. Spiritually. So that's it. We're going to end it here, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we will see you again very soon. I'll go live on my computer. Now it's time for me to eat and take a little rest. We'll be back on very soon. Peace.